Welcome, citizens of the Imperium, to Household Heresy, a beginner's guide to Warhammer 40k. Through this Foxcast, we will learn about the lore and history of the Warhammer 40k universe.
Our goal is to break down the lengthy and at times overwhelming story of Warhammer 40k, as through me, a fresh-faced newbie, to this massive universe.
I'm War Boss John Mark.
And I'm Mech Boy Michelle.
And today we will be discussing the Orks. Alright, so the Orks are your...
I was gonna keep reading it like it was a script.
Your favorite...
They are my favorite. They're the best.
Yes.
Orc boys, the Green Sea.
The Green Tide.
The Green Tide. I mean, I don't know things. I just know of them. They talk the best.
Yeah.
They have the best words.
For whatever reason, they decide to characterize
just
them.
Cockneyan.
Yeah, with this heavy, thick Cockneyan.
They're great. Well, it's because the Imperium has British accents, because
it's a UK property.
I know, so why not have the...
I suppose.
That's how they... It would have been a little... what if they had, like, Irish accents? That would have been a little...
yeah.
But they're green, so they're always ready for St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, I guess the Cockneyan was a good vocal
They're making fun of
choice.
Themselves, I guess? I don't know, but the orcs are the best, because they have big orcs and small orcs, and they can make things out of... I don't know, I just like orcs. I have a thing for orcs in general. These orcs are... I like them because they're funny, not because, like, in D&D, I like the half orcs because they're hot.
Yes,
but...
you have... We won't go into that.
Okay.
You're talking about different types of orcs.
Yeah,
there
they
are
got the
actually
big orcs and the little orcs and the medium orcs, and then there's the knobs, which are pretty cool.
Yeah, there is actually...
He killed a knob!
There's actually an entire ecosystem.
I'm sure there is, but I base all of my knowledge off of one video game I played.
One video game. Okay, so first of all, we should probably go over the kind of biology of the orcs. Because
they're all boys. They're all technically fungus.
Well, according to the Orks, they were created by the Brain Boys.
Okay.
AKA the old ones.
Okay. The Brain Boys.
Who, through unknown science, magic, woogly stuff, combined aspects of, normal... sentient bipedal creatures with a type of algae fungus stuff. As a result, orcs have, they're very durable. Mm-hmm. In fact,
man, I want a bowl of cereal.
Yeah. In fact, chopping off limbs or any other extremities, I mean, it's an inconvenience.
Like the trolls from the...
Yeah, kind of. In fact...
They have regeneration?
They don't regrow limbs, but they can, staple their limbs back on and it'll be fine. In fact...
dude, I'm not yawning because I'm just tired. Yeah.
Decapitating an orc, if you can get their head back on their body in a certain amount of time, they'll be fine.
I love orcs.
Yeah, the only surefire way of killing an orc for good is, burning them, I guess. Just like trolls.
Well, it's not what they do. They have to burn everything.
Yeah, usually...
they usually have to burn up the planet.
Yes, because
can they reuse the planet after they do it?
It depends on what the planet was used for.
Exterminatus. Are there different kinds of exterminatuses?
There are. Usually, yeah, you have to, pretty much destroy, burn everything. Because throughout their lives, orcs will...
there's the cat.
Yeah, will shed spores, which will turn into new orcs.
Yes.
And just before an orc dies, they release a bunch of spores. So what can grow from those spores? Because they
are more orcs.
All kinds of things, actually.
Okay.
One of the smallest of the orcoid species is the squigs. Squigs.
Are those the ones that ride in the mouth of things?
Yes, those are those red little... They look like an angry red beach ball with legs and teeth.
Oh, those are the squigs.
Yeah, those are the squigs.
Wait, are they related to orcs?
Yes,
those are a type of orc?
They are orcoids, yes.
I didn't know. That's weird.
Yeah.
I guess orcs don't... I know the orcs don't get along with each other, but they get along with each other better than other things. So having them being orc related makes sense.
Well, because the orc spores create an entire orc biome after a while.
I want an orc biome, but I want like, you know how people make those jars and they put like bio thing? I want one, but I want just an orc biome and then just have like little mini orcs.
Oh, like how you get it.
Like it's like a bonsai, but for orcs. I want tiny versions.
Oh, I thought you were like talking like when you were a kid, you caught a frog and you put him in a mayonnaise jar with a leaf and a stick to simulate what he's used to.
Oh, I'm sad now.
Yeah, poor Mitch Hedberg. Yeah. Anyways,
didn't he die of an overdose?
Yes, he did.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that tracks.
I want a bowl of cereal.
So the squigs are small, two-legged creatures that act as both a food source for the orcs. It's their main source of meat, as well as pets and in the case of like Gretchen's battle mounts. Yes, they eat the squigs. That's their main
you guys
source
can't
of meat.
see my face right now, but that's technically cannibalism, right? They're orcoids. They're made from orc fungus spores.
Yep.
They come from the same place orcs come from.
Yep.
That's cannibalism.
But they're like a
that would be us like eating. I cannot think of anything relatable that does not make me a terrible person. So it'd be us being like. People, you're not supposed to eat monkeys, right?
Simian, yeah.
You're really not supposed to eat their brains. Right?
The brains.
But let's just assume, actually, this is a similar thing. I guess they can eat it just fine, but it just seems like, it doesn't seem right. Also, it seems like it wouldn't work. I guess, to me, it just feels like it's like when a rabbit absorbs its young back into its body. Anyway.
Yeah.
Alright, fine. I don't accept it, but I have to. It's weird.
Yeah,
these orcs are still not these orcs are just not as cool as other orcs. They're still pretty cool.
Squigs,
They're cooler
don't...
than everything else in the universe.
This'll also kind of like, go along with that. So squigs aren't the only, part of the orc, diet. They also eat, the very mushrooms that they, basically gestate from.
That'd be like eating your...
Like those people that say that you should eat the afterbirth. Next are the snotlings. Now, I always
They sound adorable.
They are these
it has
small.
The word lean.
They're these small goblin-looking creatures. They're not particularly intelligent, but they do act as sort of they tend the fungus gardens. That both produce, the food for the orcs and also, of what they gestate from. I always kind of confuse.
They're
snotlings.
just goblins.
Well, I actually confuse snotlings and the next one we're going to talk about, which is Gretchen's. But the main difference between those are.
Is this a snotling?
Yeah, the main difference between
They're not that adorable.
The main difference between a snotling and a Gretchen is Gretchens are larger and quite a bit more intelligent. Snotlings act as sort of like this, both snotlings and Gretchens act as sort of slave race for the larger orcs.
Well, I mean, orcs always treat the smaller things worse.
Yes, because bigger is better.
I'm the biggest, I'm the boss.
Yeah. It's just Gretchens actually have some skill with things, and there have actually been some Gretchens that have risen to prominence, especially in freebooters. There is, I believe, I can't remember.
Freebooters pirates?
Yes. I can't remember his name.
Orc pirates and space orc pirates is probably why they're the best.
Yeah, I can't remember his name, but there's an actual Gretchen freebooter. That is his name. Anyways. Then we have the boys.
Yes.
These are your box standard orcs that, do all the stuff. So apart from basic boys, we also have odd boys. These are orcs that are born with specialized skills.
Okay.
And
like
then
the mech guys and stuff.
Yeah. And then you have knobs. Knobs are basically just orc boys that because of how successful they are in battle, and the fact that orcs grow for their entire life. They never stop growing. The longer an orc lives, and the fact that kind of the war energy can change things.
I want to be the war boss.
They turn into...
Why are you the war boss?
because I know things. And
And that's not why they're war bosses. That's not because they know things.
I'm also taller than you, so knobs. When a orc turn basically grows into a knob, they act as sort of like generals, and they're basically the closest thing orcs have to nobility.
When I fought knobs in that game, I always just thought they were just bigger guys because they didn't seem any smarter or organizing anything. I'm sad now that we killed the war boss in that game.
Yeah. Well, it's not necessarily that they're smarter.
Takes more than that to kill me.
It's that they are smart enough to live long enough to become a knob.
Okay.
You know, that's really... And for orcs...
I killed a knob!
Yeah, for orcs, that's really kind of all that matters, is not dying.
These are lines they say from the video game.
Yes, from Space Marine, which was a great game, and I'm so sad that they won't be making any more because...
A great game is a big stretch. It was a fun game.
It was a lot of fun.
It was very fun, and it was probably the only time I ever felt interested in the setting.
Yes.
Because they did a good job reflecting on the Imperial Guard and their weird relationship with the
Space Marines.
And there was a really cool Imperial Guard captain chick, and I shipped them with the Space Marine. And then I found out some things about Space Marines. First off, they're huge.
Yeah.
Second, I don't think they can reproduce, correct?
No, I don't think
they have things anymore. I think the drive is gone.
Yeah,
they only have hard-ons for the Empire.
Yeah. I don't even think they have that. That we can discuss when we discuss Space Marines. Yes, we're talking about
Knobs
orcs.
also can't do it.
Yeah, they don't have...
Or orcs.
Yeah, they don't have any kind of... That's not how they reproduce.
That's why they're not as cool.
Sorry,
I'm walking away. I'm here. Goodbye. Hello.
Orcs will organize into two main types of...
I enjoy my crunching in the background.
We'll organize into two main kinds of organizations. You've got the tribe and the clan. So tribes will form and break up all the time. It's just, it's very fluid. But clans, like orcs that are usually born into or have a certain philosophy on what makes an orc, will form clans. And there are a few well-known clans that we will discuss.
I'm just reading some of the names.
Yeah, the Goths are...
They're these orcs.
They are the orcs.
No, these are the orcs that dress in all black.
Black is one of their colors.
And they paint their faces really white and pale. And they listen to real music that gets to them. And they have, cool jewelry. And they... Goths.
Yeah, Goths.
Goths.
Yeah.
Okay. I was making a joke.
Some of that stuff was correct and some of it wasn't.
I wasn't trying to be correct.
So the black thing is a thing that they will sometimes wear. They usually wear, just neutral patterns and stuff like that.
Okay.
They don't like any type of ornamentation except for a lot of them will wear horned helmets, basically mimicking these kinds of
Vikings.
Well, they actually are I think mimicking another type of orc that I forgot to put on there, which is a subset of the squigs called the squigoffs, and they are. So where squigs are about the size, a little bit bigger than a small dog or a house cat, squigoff is the size of elephant but bigger. They're massive. I
just came up with an entire campaign built on the merchant roleplay.
Oh,
I ate the word. It's gone now. It belongs to me. The one where you go out and you're like, I have a writ from the Empire.
Yes, I know. It's
we are the
rogue traders.
I have a rogue trader plotline now.
Yeah,
it involves an orc.
We'll figure it out.
Squig.
Yeah, orc freebooter.
Yeah.
That's actually not uncommon for.
No, but he has a parasite on his brain that makes him smarter than all the other orcs. So when you talk to him, he has a deep, a beautiful British accent.
Oh, there you go. Orcs.
And he's James Bond villain. That's what I'm going for. But it's an orc.
Okay. Some orc.
I claim it. It's mine.
Some orc captains
Leave it
actually
alone.
do
it's mine. Talking to you out there. all 3 of you.
So some orc captains do keep squigs as pets.
Yeah, I know you said that. Now I'm gone. Like, I've written a story. It's already published.
Goths
in my brain.
Goths in my I'm not a big fan of this clan because they are they're kind of your box standard vanilla. They are the ultramarines of the orc.
But ultramarines are my favorite.
No, they're not.
They're my favorite. I love blue Smurfs.
The one thing though they do have for them is the Goths birthed one of the greatest war bosses in all of Warhammer 40k, and that is Ghazghul Mech Urathaka.
Is that the one with the hat?
No, that was
the pirate one.
That was the pirate one from the. Ghazghul is the one who created this huge wall and nearly took down the hive city of Armageddon.
What a terrible name!
Yeah, it was the Battle of Armageddon was I think the planet was called Armageddon.
What a terrible planet name!
I didn't name it. Anyway,
where do you live? Armageddon. Oh, we know where. You're reading a book and someone's like, "Hey, where are you from?" Like a sci-fi book, and they're like, "Oh, we're from the planet Armageddon." Oh, and you just know that planet's going down. That's some foreshadowing. That's not even foreshadowing. That's just up there, out there.
So next up is the Evil Sons.
That's a good name.
These orcs, they just love to go fast. They love anything that goes fast and makes lots of noise.
See, orcs aren't bad. They're completely innocent creatures who are just prone to their instincts. Like, you can't blame them for doing what they do.
Yep.
You can't, because look, they just want to go fast.
These guys want to go fast. It will not surprise you that their favorite color is the color red.
Wasn't that all orcs' favorite color?
Well, no, they're all actually different colors do a wide variety of things.
Okay.
Yeah. But they paint everything they have red because, as we all know, red makes you go fast.
It's true.
It's true.
Scientific.
Yep.
The orc scientists, the orc boy scientists.
So these guys,
the brain boys.
These guys are obsessed with cobbled together speed bikes that have huge tailpipes and loud roaring engines. They love that
wonderful.
Stuff. They sport quite a bit of mech boys because you need somebody to keep your hunk of junk going fast. Next up, we have the Bad Moons.
Okay.
These are the richest.
Names.
These are the richest orcs.
Yes, because orcs use their teeth.
Yes, and Bad Moon orcs grow their teeth grow faster.
Okay.
Thus, they are the richest.
What a weird economy system.
There are two theories that the Bad Moons were the ones that introduced the idea of using teeth for currency because they grew their teeth faster. Another one says that when teeth became the main source of currency, they all decided, well, we're going to grow our teeth faster.
Oh, because the power of thought makes things happen.
Yep. Because of their wealth and their access to...
They're the Ferengi!
Yeah, they kind of are. They do basically make up what is best described...
Females.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's so weird.
The Ferengi are terrible.
They really are.
Except for Deep Space Nine, they were great.
They the Bad Moons make up what is yes. The longer this takes, the less time you have for cereal.
I know, but you made me think of Deep Space Nine, and I miss it.
I do not.
I got to talk about Full House too. So
I do not.
You didn't watch it.
I watched some of it.
No, it doesn't count.
Okay.
Bad Moon. Are we on Snake Bites now?
No, we're still on Bad Moons. You keep interrupting me.
I've moved on. I found a snake today. Who did you?
Anyways, since they are the richest orcs, they also have the snazziest weapons. Usually going into battle with big ornate mech suits and highly customized snaz guns and big shooters. They love to also wear lots of gold jewelry and other ornamentations to show up how rich they are.
Yeah.
Pretty much where the Evil Sons want their vehicles to be loud, the Bad Moons want everything they wear to be loud.
Okay.
So, next is the Snake Bites. These orcs are very staunch traditionalists. They really don't like a lot of forms of technology. They're more, they're really almost feral orcs.
Do they not space travel?
I think they do, but they really...
They do so very reluctantly.
Yeah. They would prefer to set up shop at a planet and just, grow their tribe there. So what you're
saying, if you find these guys and blow up the planet or destroy the planet, that's it for them.
That's it for that.
Because they're not in space to spread out.
Right. But they've spread, so, whatever. Next are the blood axes. These orcs, actually there's not a lot of these orcs left anymore. The other orc clans did not like the blood axes because of their use of unorky tactics such as battle planning, combat maneuvers, and retreating. Also the use of camouflage.
Oh, so they got smart and that got them in trouble.
Yes.
Okay.
Many of the blood axes would also make use of forms of negotiation, negotiating with other armies, only to wait till they were all asleep and then slaughter them once the ink on the treaty was signed. So
backstabby.
Yeah. But yeah, the other orcs did not like their use of unorky tactics. So then you have the Death Skulls. These are another one that's not... These are another group of orcs that aren't particularly liked because they are famed for being looters and scavengers. To the point where if a Death Skull comes into your camp, you probably should check to make sure you've got all your bits.
Okay. Because
they will steal pretty much anything that isn't nailed down, and even that, they'll probably call in a mech to bring a torch or something. They are sticky-fingered little buggers. And finally, not technically an orc clan, but it's worth talking about. We were kind of talking about them before. The freebooters, usually formed by tribes that have been decimated, that other clans won't accept in, or that have decided that they want to loot and raid and pillage in their own way, so they will form these freebooter ships that go out and...
Those are the coolest ones, honestly.
Yeah, they're space orc pirates.
I mean, honestly, what's cooler than space orc pirates? Like,
that's all you really need.
What is your favorite clan?
If I were to play one...
No, just what's your favorite?
I kind of like the Evil Sons because... No, not the Evil Sons, the Bad Moons. Just because...
They're Ferengi?
No, just because they're just so much. Like, they will just... Because they can afford... Only because they can afford it, they will just weld all of these bits onto the gun till it just resembles this, mass of other guns that shouldn't be able to fire, but because it's an orc,
Yeah.
And honestly, in most cases, it may fire, it may blow them up, and they wouldn't want to live any other way.
That was the scene in Fifth Element when he's like, "Don't push." He doesn't tell him about that button.
Oh yeah, he doesn't push. Yeah, and they push the button. Yes. Speaking of which, well, we'll get there when we.
My favorite's the Freebooters and the Evil Sons. I like how they're called the Evil Sons.
Yeah, sons, because they don't use S's. I guess I don't know. They mark every S with a Z. So those are some of the clans. Like I said, if I were to run an orc army, I would probably do Bad Moons because, first of all, they have a lot of gold, and gold paint looks kind of cool, even though it's an absolute pig to get to look just right.
That's a lot of layers.
Yeah, it's a lot of layers, but once it's on there and it's going, it looks good. I like it. So, do you have any questions on the tribes,
no,
how they function, or?
I know a lot about the tribes already.
Okay.
I'm tribe educated.
Are you?
I'm an orc advocate.
Oh.
I think we need to let them. They're okay, so there's endangered birds, right? And if they fly into your house and make a nest, you have to let them.
Yeah.
You can't move them. I think that's how we need to treat orcs.
Okay, I've got some news for you about the endangered status of orcs. Orcs
But they're a natural habit. They're more natural than everybody else. They've been around really long. This is their way of life, and we're impeding it.
No, they're impeding our way of life because they're like...
We should never have gone out into space.
Oh.
We should have just stayed in our... They would have never figured out how to get into space, probably, if we hadn't figured out how to get into space.
No, they figured out how to get into space because the old ones were like...
the Klingons?
Yeah, was it? Is that
That's literally what happened. It wasn't... I don't think it was humans, but... A spaceship landed on the Klingon planet, and they're like, wait, we can go out into I'm not 100% sure it's accurate. I feel like this is what happened. Like, I feel like I've heard this, like, either in an episode or something. Klingons basically gained space travel because they stole a ship and learned how to use it.
To be fair, that's how most orcs get off planets, so, you know. Well, they usually get off...
What do you think, Kitty?
They usually get off planet in a couple ways. If they've got a good mech...
Why are you quiet now?
That can build them I
love you.
A ramshackled spaceship. They'll do that. One of the big ways that they love to...
You know why orcs are the way they are?
Huh?
They never had cats.
They probably would eat the cat.
No, the cat would change them.
No, they would
Cats changed you.
They would eat that cat.
Died. Okay, go Kitty. I'm sorry.
They would straight up eat that cat. So, space hulks are a prime target for orcs to use to get around space. One of my favorite ways of orcs, at least getting onto a planet, is via the use of rocks. So, what they will do is they will basically get asteroids.
Yeah.
And they'll fit them with a bunch of, like, rocket boosters and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And then they'll pile onto the asteroid and launch it into a planet.
They don't burn up in the atmosphere?
No, they get into the crevices and... Yeah, sure, like half of them might die, but...
I love orcs. They're so stupid. I love them so much. I just love how they're... Like, half of their strategy is just like, there's a lot of us.
Yeah.
There's a lot. So... can't stop us all.
Yeah, kind of. That's, and even if you...
And if one of us lives, then maybe we'll get promoted.
And even if you kill all of us, in a couple decades, we'll all be back. Anyways, let's talk about some odd boys.
Okay.
So first up, we've got the mech boys.
Yep, I know what those are.
Yep, they are your basic mechanics. They... basically create and maintain all of the tech, if you can call whatever orcs use as tech. Mm-hmm. Everything from guns to vehicles to mech suits, all of that stuff is basically built and maintained by the mech boys. Most mech boys will try to attach themselves with a war boss who will, basically supply him with the bits and pieces that he needs to make his creations.
Yeah.
Many of the mechanicists that have captured orc weapons and vehicles, upon...
They're probably like, how does this work?
Yeah, upon examining them, find that they are basically just a bunch of parts smashed together.
Yep.
Most mechs, when they're creating something, they will have a image in their mind of what they want it to look like, take some bits, smash them together... beat on them until inexplicably creates what they are after. All of this is due to the Wa. So the Wa is two things. The Wa is basically two things. There is the Wa, which is a big grouping of orcs coming together to go out and battle. That's, the Wa. But there's also the Wa, which is the Gestalt psychic field that all orcs emanate.
Yes.
They don't connect to the immaterium.
The wall has literally won me games, so.
Yeah. They don't connect to the immaterium the same way that a lot of other creatures do. They have a very weak connection, but when they all get together, mm-hmm. that combined Gestalt consciousness has a power of its own and can actually warp reality around the orc. It is the Wa energy that makes orc technology even function, which is handy for the orcs because it means that
no one can steal their ideas.
No one can steal their stuff.
It's copyrighted.
It really is.
It's protected. YouTube algorithm gets it. It keeps it safe. It takes down anybody else's stuff for uploads.
I mean,
even if it's just a commentary under the fair rights, fair use.
So, any questions on Mech Boys? They're pretty. Their name says it all.
Are we gonna do this for everyone? Do we have time?
Like I said, there's actually a lot more than this. Yeah. The list of odd boys I shrunk down. Next up are Pain Boys or Mad Docs. Yes. These are orc doctors.
Orcs have doctors?
Kind of. Orcs, as I stated before, are very hardy, very sturdy creatures. But from time to time, they need limbs reattached or surgeries done for other reasons. And so they will go to Pain Boys. Now, for an orc to go and visit a Pain Boy, they need to be in desperate need because the orc docs basically take the principles that most orcs use in all their other day-to-day life and apply those principles to the delicate, minute processes of surgery. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. So you know how I was telling you that mechs, just take a bunch of bits and bash them together until something comes out? Mm-hmm. Think about that in the context of a doctor.
Oh.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
How does an orc decide they're going to be a Pain Boys?
It's
I like hitting my other orcs but not killing them. I hit them till they're better.
It's actually part of that instinctual knowledge. Okay. So, mechs...
Back to my theory that we should protect orcs. Because it's just all instinct. It's not their fault.
Yeah. Orcs... an orc mech is an orc mech because they were born with that knowledge. A Pain Boy is a Pain Boy mostly because they have an unhealthy fascination of the inner workings of other creatures.
Okay.
The problem with
They're just all sadists.
The problem with that is a lot of times an orc will go in because something is wrong with their arm.
Yeah.
And find that his both of his legs have been replaced.
Oh. So.
Because the Pain Boy was like...
So walking malpractice.
Yeah, they literally are walking malpractice.
How do you sue a Pain Boy?
You bash their blooming skull in.
Oh, I guess you can take their teeth.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't like your job. Give me your teeth.
So, give
me all your teeth!
Most Pain Boys are equipped with the standard array of medical tools such as stabby and pokey bits, scalpels and syringes, as well as a large metal mallet known as anesthesia.
Oh.
Orc anesthesia is basically also could be classified as a severe concussion.
Okay.
So
can orcs get concussions?
Yes, because that's anesthesia.
Oh. Do they die from concussions?
No, that's anesthesia.
Okay. Anesthesia.
Yeah. That's one of the most notorious orc mad docs, and I just forgot his name, but he became famous for two things. One, he was the orc mad doc that fitted Gazgul Mech Urthraka with the adamantian skull plate. He also perfected a orc squig brain transfer.
Why?
To see if he could.
So the orc's brain goes in the squid, and the squid brain goes in the orc.
Yes.
So you can put the squid in the water, and then the orc squid swims around, and
Squig.
Squig?
Yeah, those
round... I thought you said squid!
No.
So I'm literally picturing, like a fish.
No, the squigs.
Okay, but, hear me out. And so the squid goes in the water and swims around, and then it just starts destroying stuff. And there's, a human, steadying the fish, and he's just like, this squid has lost its blooming mind! And it's just, and then it was, and then
it gathers a bunch of...
Orcs show up in the water, and they start drowning. Anyway, Welcome to my fan fiction.
Oh, no.
It will be raunchy because there is a squid involved.
Yes.
Anyway, so squig. Okay.
The orc, it's the orc squig brain transfer.
This is all the commentary I have. I either have, okay, interesting, or I can just blurt out whatever comes to my brain.
That's true.
Okay, so this is what you get. I can just not respond.
This is what I signed up for. Any question on the Mad Dogs?
Tell me about the runt herds.
Yes, runt herds. So orcs do take slaves.
Okay.
And to manage most orcs,
human slaves, like any slaves?
Humans, Eldar
would not live very long.
Well, if normal orcs were the ones handling the slaves, no, because unfortunately, orc social interaction involves screaming at each other or bashing each other.
Yes. And
unfortunately, a human getting bashed by an orc would not go well.
Yeah.
Probably even less well for an Eldar to get bashed by an orc. Thus, you have the runt herds. Runt herds are unique in the fact that they have more patience and I guess more of a sense of understanding.
They have empathy?
Kinda, yeah.
That's just kind of funny, though. Like, hello, I have empathy and understanding for your plight, but I'm still gonna keep you.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're still orcs.
Yeah.
It's just they understand that makes you sad. Like, I understand that makes you sad that you don't want to do that, but I still need you to do that, so I don't care, I guess? I don't know. They are also one of the few orcs that will take the time to learn other languages so that they can better communicate with their slaves.
Interesting.
Yeah. Finally, well, we've got a few more, but the next one I want to talk about are the weird boys. These are the closest things that orcs have to psychers. They don't operate the same way that
orc psychers sound terrifying.
Yeah, they really are, because these orc psychers are just
normal psychers are terrifying.
Yeah. So you know how most psychers can be very, very dangerous?
Yes.
Then now imagine an orc.
Yeah.
So orc psychers, even more than human psychers, orc psychers are just as dangerous to the tribes that they live in as they are to the enemy that they are going against. Mm-hmm. Rather than this sort of direct connection with the warp where they draw their energy and basically cast their spells, mm-hmm. for lack of a better word. Weird boys are like lightning rods to like excess Wa energy. Because there's always like this sort of field of Wa energy that surrounds a large group of orcs. And it all gets absorbed into the weird boy, which causes them greater and greater pain as they absorb more and more. And they have to release that energy or their head will explode.
Okay.
So most weird boys will stay away from large gathering of orcs, with most war boss having to literally beat them senseless and drag them into battle to be used. And usually it's them being forced to a battlefield, filled up with enough Wa energy until their head about to explode, and then just sort of like pointing them.
Okay.
Usually the release is this sort of big wave of warp energy and these forms of psychic vomit.
Ew.
It's not real vomit, but it looks like it's what is described through most of the stuff.
Poor boys. I feel bad for the weird boys.
Yeah, a lot of times though, if they don't release this built up energy, when they explode, usually it's a very large explosion, so
take out some orcs.
Yeah. Like I said, the first time I, in a tournament setting, ever played against an orc army, mm-hmm. was actually in fantasy.
Uh-huh.
And this is how it went. So I had my turn, and then his first turn, he sent out his goblin fanatics, which are these,
is this the one where he mowed himself down?
Yeah, his goblin fanatics, scattered back into his army and then went across his line. And so in 2 turns, I hadn't fired a single shot, and, 3/4 of his army was just gone.
That's That's why orcs are the best, because you're not just fighting the person, you're fighting your own units.
It really is. Like with mech boys, they usually go into battle in these big mech suits that have just as much likelihood of exploding and taking out, your whole left flank as they do, taking out the enemies.
They're cool.
Yeah.
I love orcs. Speed freaks.
So remember we were talking about the evil sons?
Boys?
Yeah. The evil sons have a large concentration of speed freaks. Speed freaks are orcs that it's almost a sickness. Mm-hmm. They have become so obsessed with going fast that that's all that they can think about or want to do. Many of these speed freaks will come together and create what's called a cult of speed, which is where they just, like I said, they just
try to go faster and faster.
Just faster. Doesn't matter, like, more rockets, more, they'll put enough, like, rockets onto a bike to probably launch it into space, which I think they would be all right with. Some ones that I didn't even know about until I did some extra research. Some boys. Mm-hmm. Sumboyz, some boys.
They're bankers.
They are the orc bankers.
Okay.
And then you have brew boys. They are.
I could read it.
Yeah, they're cooks and stuff like that. That's kind of an honorable mention because I absolutely love this type of orc, or the flash gits. These are the ones that they love over elegant, big, complicated, expensive weapons. Usually like some cobbled together gravity pulsar gun that is just as likely to suck them into a singularity as it is to do any actual damage to the enemy. Big Tesla coil guns that probably will blow up after the third shot. I said,
Petty the cat.
I just love the idea of this bigger, badder, more volatile kind of thing that every time you pull the trigger, it's just like, well, I'm rolling the dice.
I like the weird boys.
I
feel bad for them.
Yeah, they do live
I like the runt herds because they actually kind of sound like the worst of the worst when you think about it.
Yes.
Because they're the ones that they're keeping the slaves, so they have to learn how to handle the slaves. They gain this, empathy connection, but they still keep slaves, so they're kind of worse than even, they're not allowed in my orc sanctuary. No runt herds, get it out.
Yeah, the runt herds actually they actually understand carrot and stick approaches to dealing with their slaves. So they will actually reward slaves.
So Stockholm?
Yeah, basically. They will reward slaves that perform well and obviously discipline those. Last, we have to talk about the orc religion.
Okay.
The orcs do have a religion. They have two gods. They are the gods Gork and Mork.
Yeah.
Gork is brutal yet cunning, and Mork is cunning yet brutal.
Okay.
The difference being that Gork will bash you in the head, while Mork will wait till you're asleep and bash you in the head.
Okay.
It is said that these two orc gods are in a eternal battle with each other, never resting, always fighting. Many orcs will gravitate to one or the others, either being Gorkers or Morkers.
Okay.
And that's literally their entire.
They're very mad at the red axes or blood axes for being cunning.
Because they do not exemplify what most orcs think is the qualities of Gork and Mork. It was mostly the Goths that didn't like the blood axes because each.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, each orc tribe tries to, in their own way, exemplify what it means to be orky. And the Goths, since they're the largest orc tribe, they're like, well, we've decided what it means to be orky and everybody else is wrong. And the blood axes are especially wrong because they fight like the Humies and that's not orky.
Okay.
It's not right for somebody to use battle tactics. You grab all of your boys and you just rush.
That is our battle tactic. It's the only battle tactic.
Yeah, we have one. Our playbook has one page.
Very, very half a page.
Any questions about the orcs?
No, I don't have questions, remember?
Okay.
Is there a quiz?
Yes.
No!
There is a quiz after
I'm bad at quizzes.
I am too. Alright. I think that should...
That's a very long...
Yeah, I think that should wrap things up.
All right. Thank you for listening to Household Heresy. We upload, every other week?
Every other week, yeah.
Every other week, but please check out the other videos. Please give us a like, leave a comment, hit that bell.
Yep, all of that stuff.
And tell us how wrong we were about everything. And we'll see you next time.
All right. Well, I'm John Mark.
And I'm Michelle.
And thanks for watching. And don't get slurped.
I'm getting a bowl of cereal. Don't get slurped. I'm going to slurp a bowl of cereal.
Slurp a bowl of cereal?
Why are you chewing plastic?